And we are off and going. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. My name is Sam. I am the founder of Fitness Fights Cancer. And in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I have the pleasure and honor of having Laurie here to share her story and everything that she's gone through since cancer and what she's doing to inspire many women across the country and in the world. Whoever can hear this story will be very motivated. So, Laurie, thank you for joining me this evening.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be here.
No, absolutely. So for everybody who doesn't know what Fitness Fights Cancer does, we are an organization that I started about 2 years ago, and we're here to help support other cancer survivors, cancer fighters, people who are going through, but also their families. It's not just us who are going through that are affected. It's the sons, the mothers, the fathers, and all the friends. We've all have somebody who's been affected by cancer. And what we're trying to do, especially today, is to bring awareness to these subjects and how can we help people going through? Because there is a lot more to cancer than just getting a treatment. There's a whole range of, the mental aspect and the physical, and we want to shed some light on that. And also, last little pointer before we jump into her amazing story, we are running a fundraiser for breast cancer awareness. It is in the link to each of these posts. If you could please donate to this breast cancer fund. They do a lot of research and they're coming out with all these new different ways to detect breast cancer early, improving treatments, and then helping a lot of those who are going through to keep their bodies healthy and strong. So if you could please donate to this noble cause, we would be very grateful. And I'm sure that many people who are battling breast cancer would be as well. So without further ado, Laurie, let's jump right into your story. Now, I've only heard little bits that you told me in Messenger. So everyone listen, I have not heard her story, so I'm really excited. Let's just start from the very beginning. What was life like before cancer, with your health, your mindset?
Before cancer, I was healthy. I was competing. I did my first show for the WBFF, and I felt fine. I was the epitome of, health. And then I started to feel a little fatigued, and I thought, well, maybe it was after the show. I trained so hard, so I was a little tired. But then I went for my mammogram, and then I went for an ultrasound, and that's where they found the lymphoma in my breast. And I kind of knew it right then and there when they were on my breast with the ultrasound, because it was like a little watery kind of thing, and you just kind of know something. I don't know, I just knew something was wrong, and I was right, unfortunately. And I was pissed off because I was like, what did I do wrong? You're looking to see why you got it, and you feel so isolated once you hear that you have cancer, and nobody really knows how that feels unless you're a cancer survivor or you've been diagnosed before.
Absolutely. So, what age was that, if you don't mind me asking? When were you diagnosed, and when did all that kind of happen?
Now, I was about 54. I'm 56 now, so that's 6 years ago. I'm 6 years in remission.
Okay.
And I was upset about it. I went kind of like dark. When the lights go out at night, that's when it creeps up on you and you start thinking of all these crazy things. But I was lucky I had my faith. I think, I had that in place already. So that kind of helped me. And I think that's important for people to either have their community, their faith, friends around them. I had God, so that helped me. But, I got in a depression. I didn't want to work out. I was pissed. I was mad, angry, and depressed. And
yeah. And I've been there as well. And so question, so you said you were diagnosed around 54, but you didn't start competing until your 50s.
No, I didn't start competing until I was 51, 52.
Wow. So what kind of drove you to do that? So what was were you just into fitness beforehand?
I always was into fitness. My dad was into fitness. I always stood in fitness. Mm-hmm. I like to go to the gym and meet people and, work out with other women and try to, push everybody to work out with me. And I just liked it. It was a hobby. I didn't make any money doing fitness, Mm-hmm. It was something I just loved.
So that hobby kind of got you a little intrigued into, okay, maybe what can I do if I step on the stage? So how was that experience?
Into that, it was in Vegas. And what happened is I said, well, I'll go to Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So a friend of mine, a neighbor of mine said, let's do the Vegas world show for the WBFF. And I said, well, if I could come in maybe the top 10 at the time, it was 35 and up, and I was 52. And I think I came in 8th, which is really pretty good. And I had a great time in Vegas, and that's where the bodybuilding and the competitions and all that I enjoyed it. I don't care about winning. It gave me a goal, something to obtain, even if I didn't win, it just gave me something to train for.
Absolutely. It's something about bodybuilding I try to explain to people, because I was a sports athlete since I was 3, played college football, but bodybuilding is a very internal sport. And it's bodybuilding was really mind building. And I know that gave me a good foundation when I got diagnosed to really have that discipline and a certain drive. So how did that help you? When you first started noticing your symptoms, what was life kind of like? Were you still trying to, eat right? Like, kind of tell me a little bit more about some of the symptoms maybe you had as well.
Well, I was tired, but like I said, I couldn't tell because it was my first bodybuilding competition, bikini competition. So I thought maybe I overtrained and, age was getting me. I just felt tired. I just want to sleep. I just fatigued, just very fatigued. And, that's when I found out I had it. But I think bodybuilding was a great thing for me, because when I came out of that depression of feeling sorry for myself, I went back into bodybuilding, and it's so good for you because, number one, you have to be disciplined. You have to eat clean. You can't eat, junk. And I always loved junk food. So I was forced to eat my sweet potato and my broccoli. And I tightened up my diet. Instead of feeling sorry for myself, I was like, let me just tighten this up. And if, I get this back, at least I tried. I tried everything I could do. There's no shoulda, woulda, coulda. So I continued, and I made calls, and I, did my treatment of radiation, and then I started right back into full force, right into the bodybuilding world,
So that time that you were just talking about going through the depression, you said that was before your treatment started?
Well, yeah, it was before, when I first got diagnosed. And the scariest thing as getting diagnosed with cancer is nobody wants to hear that word. Nobody. And you get scared. You're nervous. You don't know what to do. You don't know who to see, what doctors to see. You hear so many stories, people getting you nervous, and then everyone says, "Oh, you're okay," but no, you're not okay. You got cancer. It's like, hello, and you get nervous. So what you have to do is really take control of you, of your life. Get on that phone. Do what you got to do. Help yourself. You can't expect other people to do anything for you. You must be in control and disciplined about what you do, and you have to do it. You have to get the hell up and live your life and do the best you can do. And that's why I use this as a platform. I get up on that stage, and I'm a cancer survivor, and I fight it all the time. We don't know, you don't know, I don't know when we're going to get it back. But hey, look, I'm on stage. I'm in perfect health, and I'm here, and I did something about it, and maybe somebody else can, maybe they're not feeling very good about themselves, and they'll say, she did it. Maybe I can do it. Feel good about myself.
Kind of help propel you forward during your treatments? Was it more like, you want to live your life again on your terms? It's like, what,
it helped me. I think the bodybuilding really helped me. The bikini competitions helped me. I'm focused on my health. And every time I see and I get blood work, they say to me, whatever you're doing, keep doing. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm going to keep competing. I'll probably be 70 in a bikini, but no, I feel it helped me.
You compete still? Like, did you ever tell them, what you're doing with your health? And
yes, but yeah. I am natural. I have no hormones. I have, all I do is take vitamins. I'm all natural. And so it's not, people say, well, it's not a good sport for you because you deplete, and I'm sure you hear it. So what? 1 week you don't have fats and carbs, so big deal. 1 week, Hey, it's helped me. My numbers are great. I'm healthy. I'm here, and we're talking. So life goes on, and what happens after this happens. At least I tried, right?
100%. You're still
I'm
here.
a fighter. I'm not going to cry my way down. I'm not going to be a baby about it.
We something, we all have those moments, no matter how strong you are. When you hear those words, you have cancer, it does bring you down. And I know a lot of women who might listen to this or are going through this even right now. What advice could you give to them who, if they just got diagnosed, or if they're waiting to hear, what's maybe some little tips, or not even tips, just any advice that you might want to give to them?
Well, you got to have faith. Whoever your faith is in. I had faith in God, and I knew, I was going to be okay as long as I had faith. I didn't want to go into the dark side. I wanted to feel positive. And it's not the end of the road. I mean, it's just not the end. You can't get on the internet and read. Don't read on the internet. And just live your life as you can be, because, if you're going to be negative, I think you're just going to stress out more. And there's a lot of good things that, you have your treatment and you move on. And that's that, I mean, that's what I can say. Live your life. Don't end it.
And you can do. Yeah. It's crazy. What I learned from cancer, it was, I believe that cancer of the mind is almost just as harmful as cancer of the body. And having a certain mindset when you're going through that, we all, you experience, I know after radiation, that is like your body is beaten down, you're tired, but it's like you have to have a purpose. And something, for my story, because we haven't even talked, like, this is our first time really talking, I found this purpose in, helping other people who are going through cancer. And that's what kind of gave me a big push. And it was actually during that time is when I found my faith again. It was something that I felt I lost for years before that. But there was, a defining moment that I was like, God was talking to me, and it was almost like, get your ass up. I mean, he said some other words, but it was like in my own head, it was like, get up and, go lift, go move, get some flow. And, that's what kind of pushed me forward. And it's like, it sounds like you have a purpose now too. Your purpose is to step on that stage to show other women, yes, you can. Like, you can do this. Even, I don't want to bring up the age card, but like for 60 years old, you have phenomenal physique. Like,
it's not only for cancer. I think it helps people. If I can do it, you can do it. You can do anything you want to do in your life if you put your mind to it. And again, about the cancer and about God. And I think also God puts other people in your life to help you. For instance, I'll tell you a story. When I got diagnosed, I went into the 7-Eleven and I saw this older gentleman. He was about 88. We call him Old Man Lubeck. That's what we called him. And I said, "Hey, Ed, did you hear? I was waiting to get the pity party going, that I have cancer, And he said, "Yeah, I heard." He said, "But look at me. I'm here, and I had 3 heart attacks." He said, "You live your life. Don't let that shit bother you. You live every day. You do what you want. You go back in that gym, and you work." And I was like, "Oh, he's so mean." But he was so mean to me. I was like waiting for him to feel bad for me, sorry for me. And he was like, no pity party here, young lady. You go. Look at me. I'm an 88. I'm still here. You go. You enjoy your life. Don't let that let you down. And you know what? The next day I put the sneakers on. Maybe that was God giving him the message to hit me home, because I started doing that pity shit. I was looking for pity from him, and he turned around and he smacked my face and said, "You get up that road. You're not going to pull that on me." So you don't know, someone like that. Maybe you meet me on stage and I get off stage and you just got cancer, and maybe that's me that says that to you. Come on now, the hell up. What are you going to do? Cry? You're starting to cry about it. You got to move on and do the best you can and help yourself. No one's going to help you but you.
100%. The best advice that any medical doctor has given me, it's like, you have to be your own advocate.
That's right.
You have to stand up for yourself. You have to take action, because nobody else will.
No.
And, you brought up a lot of really good points in that, the last minute there. And, having that, having a support system around you, and then also, taking control of your life. And then one of the things that I don't know, I'm drawing a blank right now on there's one little moment, your faith. And sometimes people, like, when they hear that news, it's like, why did God give me this? Or you're like that pity party, like, why is this happening to me? And I'm sure because I mean, I was a 27-year-old nutritionist.
God, that's not God doing that to
you
you.
know
But
and
that's what our brain tells us if you don't have that faith.
mhm,
That's not God. Everybody wants to blame God. That's the easy way out, right? Let's blame somebody. Okay, if it's not chemicals, or if it's not whatever stress, let's blame God. He gave it to me.
mhm.
That's not what goes on. You have to have faith, and you know, I just don't believe God gives you that. Sorry, that's not what God is. He wants everybody to be healthy and well. You know.
I agree 100%. And, I noticed, when I started, getting a little more, back into reading my Bible and, studying a lot of it, like going back into my spirituality. And it was like, I do believe that he gave me that for a reason. It was like, when I was kind of showed, what is your purpose? It wasn't so much to continue, like, I mean, there's more to help give back and contribute and help other people who are going through cancer. Because I am a firm believer, and this is like my 10-year plan is, I will open my own cancer centers, and I will be teaching nutrition, rehab. We do a lot of work on the brain, but one of the big ones, and it was like, just building that mindset and giving people hope, where it's like, I believe God gave me this for a reason, and it was like, to give back, to learn from it. And it taught me so much about the body and how nutrition and fitness really can, again, it just gives you all this fuel. Because, one crazy statistic, only about 5 to 10% of cancers are actually genetic.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves 80 to 90%, being, or even more, like, to our environment and, what we're doing to our body, stress. There's so many factors that can exemplify, amplify, these cancer cells in our body. And, I think we're all kind of, God gave us a purpose and a reason, and I think, for you being a fit woman who got this, and now you're showing other women that you can still do this, no matter what
I think that's what my feeling is, always to help people after I got this. That was my calling. I don't know, but that's what I feel, that if I could share my experience, or just fit the part of health, and have other people in their 40s and 50s say, hey, let me lose some weight. Let me feel good about myself. And maybe they won't get cancer. Maybe they'll start eating clean and going to the gym. And maybe that prevents them from getting cancer. I don't only want to help cancer patients, I want to prevent it. And if I can help prevent those young friends of mine in the gym that I train with all the time, that I love, a lot of the girls, and I don't have a daughter, but I have tons. Mm-hmm. And I hope that they learn from me, that they follow my path and my lifestyle, of health.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that will help other people, too, besides helping cancer people get over the fact that they're diagnosed and life goes on, and hey, let's fight this crap. Let's get up and get going.
I love it. So I believe it's better to prevent something from happening than waiting until you get right. Then start changing your life.
I'm trying to help prevent that. I don't want to see, it breaks my heart when I see, young people, get cancer. And if I think that if they would only, try different things or tried a different lifestyle, I don't know, that's all. I try to help everybody that way. That's kind of my feeling on it. Mm-hmm. Letting everyone see that they need to stay fit, that they can't party all the time, that, it's okay in moderation to have fun. You need a life. Yes, I understand that. But steam your broccoli, okay? Eat your baked potato, cook. You don't need to eat out. You don't need to eat fast food all the time. I love fast food once in a while. I think there's a lot of things that people can do to help themselves and to prevent a lot of other diseases besides cancer, And you definitely need mammograms, people. You definitely need colonoscopies. Don't be scared. Go. Who cares? Put your boob in the sling and just get your ultrasound and your mammogram and whatever you need. You have to really be on top of your healthcare also. You can't let anything slide.
As I know for breast cancer, that is a huge thing. Early detection can
Big. I would have been dead. I would have been dead. If I didn't go, it would have went through in through all my lymph nodes, and I don't know if I'd be talking to you right now. I don't know. I'm telling you that the ultrasound, the mammogram can save your life. And you know,
recommend like once a year for women.
Once a year. And I think if you have a history of breast cancer, they want you when you're younger. I think you have to 40, it's every year. But before that, if you have a history of it, then they want you once a year, even in your 30s. But I think you need to self-check and not be scared, because if you're scared and you don't go to the doctor, now you're, instead of stage 1, you're stage 4, and now you're chemo and radiation and who knows what.
So not in stage 1, or what was your stage that was initially?
I'm going to tell you, really honestly, I was very, very lucky. I only had a week of radiation. I was stage 1, maybe into 2, you know. But if I didn't go for that mammogram, I don't know. Okay, I don't know, because you know it's lymphoma. It would have went. It was in the breast, and it would have went in my arm, and then bye bye. You know, it would have went everywhere. I don't know. You know, we know it takes over and goes into your spine and all that. But I think like that. I was lucky I found it in the breast. And I think it's 1 out of 4,500 people that get it in their breast. That kind of a cancer in their breast. And I have tags that I'm tagged still with other things that I watch all the time. You have to be on top of yourself. Go for your annuals. You have to.
100%. And if you are feeling these weird symptoms and it doesn't go away after rest, you know,
sometimes you don't feel anything. You still got to go.
Yeah. And that's for me. Like I had 6 months before I went to go get checked, but it was like, it all actually started in my brain, and I thought it was just stress. And I thought it was, but then there was like these weird mineral deficiencies and nutrient deficiencies. And then it wasn't after a couple months where finally I was like, I'm just going to get a ultrasound. And then they tested it, and it was like, wow, you got to come back. Like, cause I was actually in another country on the beach. And that's when I got the call, like, hey, those lymph nodes that we checked, you know, there's a bunch of cancerous cells on them. You have these nodules everywhere near your brain. You got to come back. You know, when you come back, we'll check you out. And
yeah, that's scary. You were probably so scared.
It could have been caught much sooner. And, you know, the weird part at that time, and, you know, cause I know we talked a little bit about mental health when, you know, when you're going through this, you know, I was already in like, you know, a very bad place at that time. And, you know, it was almost like cancer was, and I do call it a gift now. It was like something that pulled me out of that. And it was like, you know what, there's much more to live for. And that's where I found, you know, my faith again. And, you know, it's a long story, but it was one of those, you know, that cancer really did change my life. And I believe
it makes you change, because the little things that would bother you back then, you don't care now. No. You didn't really care about too much. You know, I like somebody I lost, when I just did the national, you know, that, and I came in second. I didn't really care. I mean, for a minute I was like, shoot, I wanted first place. But you know what? You know what matters to me? When that doctor calls me and said, Laurie, you're cleared, do whatever you want. Hey, you know what? I'm a winner just being there. I'm a winner just being up on that stage, you know? And I don't know. I think I'm happier. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm actually a happier person than I was before cancer. So I'm happy.
For me, just listening, it sounds like you're very grateful. You appreciate your life, appreciate your day, like you have found your faith. And it's, I believe that's one of the greatest lessons. And I didn't really have a lot of people around me that, you know, went through things like this, you know, a distant family. But it wasn't until I really walked into the cancer center and I would see people who were, you know, they had a bag hanging. They had to have chemo 23 out of 24 hours of the day. And you know, I was just like, wow, like I need to be grateful for, you know, my family life, grateful that, you know, I'll be stepping on stage hopefully this time next year. And it's like, you know, I still have myself, I still have my body. And that was, you know, my message to everybody. It's like, you know, love everything. And, you know, life's not going to be perfect. You know, you're going to have these trials and tribulations that, you know, are put in front of you, but it's how we respond. It's, you know, how do we persevere? And it's how do we help, take those lessons and become a better person and also help other people. And I
That's what it's all about.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think, yeah, well, you're on the right path. That's for sure.
I'm
You
trying.
really are. I mean, and it, it's kind of, I don't know. I find that I'm really kind of relieved. Maybe I'm out of that dark spot that before cancer, how you thought about the stupidest little things would make you angry. And, you don't get angry anymore. But I have to go back on your relatives when you are diagnosed with cancer. They don't know how to react to you. Most people don't know how to react to you. And then if you're the epitome of health, they really like look at you like, no, you know, you'll be fine. And you're like, no, but I have cancer, And then,
Oh, if
yeah,
anybody can beat it, you can beat it. You're fit, you're healthy. I'm like, well,
right.
got it in the first place. There's an article that one of my, actually, it was my first client that I worked with that had cancer. She sent this to me after she found out I had cancer. And it's funny, she sent this as a thank you message to me years later. I haven't seen her in years, as a thank you to helping her with her diet because it actually helped with her recovery and her treatment. But anyways, it was the 17 thing. The article was called "The 17 Things I Wish I Knew About Cancer Before I Was Diagnosed," and it talked about your friends, your family. Like there were 17 points, and you go through, you're like, oh my god, like I hit every one of
That's
those.
very good. I wish I had that.
I'll find it and I'm going to send it to you because you
I
just,
want to see that.
because I read it that one time, and it wasn't until 8 months later after my last treatment, I read it again and was like, oh my god, like how your friends react. It talks about your
Yes.
family,
You
new.
lose some friends. Some friends get scared and
I
they,
know
they
some
take
like
off.
distance themselves. They didn't know how to react to me being like having cancer. And I had
No.
some people leave. I had random people I haven't talked to in 10 years message me and just be friendly. So it's weird how like people come out of the woodwork, some people
Some
leave.
people disappear and some people come back. You
Yeah.
know, um, it's just the way it is. But I don't know. As long as we can keep, motivating people to stay healthy and they're not alone out there in cancer. That's for sure.
Yeah.
They're not alone.
So speaking of people that you meet, I want to know, how do you know Guy Del Corso?
Oh, I love Guy.
He's an
I
awesome dude.
I met Guy from one of the young, actually a friend of mine, Nick, was competing and that was his coach. And I said, Nick, I want to compete in the NPC because I was in the OCB and I was in my 50s and they only had 40 up. And so I kept coming in second and I was like, I want to be with people in the 50s. I don't want to be with someone because I can't beat somebody 40. I mean, I'm realistic. So I went into the NPC and I met Guy. And at the time he was fighting cancer and so was I. So we kind of clicked and bonded and he's my man, for my
Okay,
coaching.
came together at that point.
Yes. And so it was so good because I knew, what he was going through and he knew what I was going through. So it was good. It's a good thing. I have a great relationship with him. He's got a lovely family, nice wife, really. I wish I could see him more because I would love to go to the little gym and work out. But, I'm in Florida right now.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
you're not in Jersey. Not,
Yeah. So that's how I met Guy. That's how I met Guy.
he's got a great story. I had him on during my 6-week event. And some of the words that he said, like, he's he sends me, these, quotes from the Bible and all of our faith. He sends that to me almost every morning. And he's an inspirational dude and has an amazing story as well.
Yeah, he always sends them to me too. Yeah, even when I wasn't using him as a coach. I mean, I kind of I used this one girl last year, and I didn't use him as my coach last year because she was local, and I said, okay, I'll train with her. But I called him and said, listen, I'm going to cheat on you for a little bit. But he called me from the national last year, and he wasn't even my coach. He calls me as a friend, to wish me luck and everything. And I was like, I can't believe I cheated on him. But it wasn't a cheat. It was because I was new in the neighborhood and I was in Florida and I felt that I was trying to make friends, with other, people in the field.
It's good to learn from other people as well. And you can.
Yes, it is. She was very good. She was nice, but I still, Guy is my, my coach. Yeah, he's my coach. I'm going to end my career with him. I started it with him. I'm going to end it with him. I said to him when I called him, I said, I'm coming back. Will you take me? You know, and he's always sent me his inspirational quotes all along. I'm on his list. Yeah. He's very into God, and that's what we share. We share a lot of that.
It's great.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So we'll see. And I got the next show coming up. I'm doing, what am I doing? I'm doing Charleston. I'm doing Team Universe in 3 weeks. I'm going to get back up on that stage and strut my stuff. But this time I'm not going to be alone because he'll be there. So that'll be good.
Okay.
You know, there'll be some people from New York there, and you know, that's fun, and I'll have fun. You know, I'm always a winner anyway, just being up there and getting in that bikini and, you know, getting all glammed up. I feel good. So you know. Yeah, it's just a good feeling.
It is the whole nother
that I have the opportunity to do that, you know. I mean, think about it. I'm very lucky.
Very, very lucky.
Yeah, and I'm 60, so I don't even like to say that word. I can't even put 60 anymore on my Instagram. I put 55 and over.
That's, I mean, again, what you're doing is absolutely amazing. You're, defying, again, all the beliefs that, as you get older, oh, you can't build muscle, it's,
I have a lot of muscle.
Can't be thin, lean, but no, you definitely can. And you're showing that. So what, any last little closing, something that you want to tell women out there who are listening?
I just wish they would get, number one, if they're diagnosed with breast cancer or any cancer, find a nutritionist, a good one. You're right. Someone that knows more than you and what, that's qualified to give you a good nutritional program, and a trainer. Get fit. Because even in chemo now, they want you to start working out. They want you in that gym as soon as you're done with your treatment. They want you to get going. You gotta take control of your life and get out of that isolation. Get going. And come join me on stage.
Yes, any women, I like her Instagram will be posted in the description, so you can check out her page and again see a lot of her competition pictures. It is amazing to see all that. And thank you again. I'm very grateful that you took the time out of your busy week to talk with me and to share your story and inspiration.
Yours too. That was great.
So last little bit, everybody, thank you guys for listening. Please click on the link. There are a couple other things you can do from that GoFundMe link. You can donate to our cause. And also there's another link to join our Fitness Fight Club, which is what we are doing to build this community of like-minded people who are supporting each other. It has all of our informational videos, my interviews, and especially with Guy Del Corso, it's also in there, all of the people that we know. So check it out and see what Fitness Fights Cancer is all about. We'd love to have you be part of our community. So thank you, Laurie, again. And that is it.
Yeah, it was great meeting you.
Great meeting you as well.
Okay.
All right. And